Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We're definitely glad for everybody that was listening to us tonight. We're getting ready to end the show with our rants and with our closings. And as we do every single week, we always start with our guest, but not our guest in the studio. We're going to hold on to Miss Tamika. We want to save her before me, because, I always close out the show. But we got your man K-Dub on the live line with us. He's still with us. And K-Dub, you want to end out the show with your rant and your closing, my brother?
No doubt. First off, man, I like the fact that you played Black Cop. That's a subliminal shout out to our boy Phenom, aka Phenomenon, aka Black Cop, aka Black Jesus, aka 40 Dukes. You know what I'm saying? But what I wanted to say, man, was first of all, thank you to Marcus J and the Ain't No Half Steppin' Crew for allowing me to grace your show every week, every so often, or whatever. I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate it. Also, this mostly goes out to everyone that listened to the show last week in the wake of Trayvon Martin and a lot of the let's just say foolishness that's going on in Jersey City, New Jersey, where we grew up at. I made a comment last week talking about that. As time went along, people were going to start forgetting about Trayvon Martin and move on to the next thing. And to be honest with you, if it wasn't for this particular juror, we probably wouldn't even have touched on the Trayvon Martin situation. And I say that to say that, if we're tired as a community of a lot of the things that, go on, what have you, whether it's our depiction being displayed on the news or just how people are acting, I think everybody needs, including myself, I'm not immune to what I'm saying. We all need to take personal responsibility and be the change that we're looking for. A number of times, Marcus, you quote a line that I kind of came up with a long time ago: create the world that you want to live in, and that goes for everybody. If you're tired of the craziness that's going on around you in your community, if you're tired of how we're being depicted on TV, then we all, but individually, we all need to move forward and create that particular change. If you don't like the fact that love and hip hop is on TV and it's a lot of buffoonery on these, and I'll put in parentheses, these reality shows, then it's up to you to put a stop to it. Either stop watching it or start bombarding these TV and radio TV stations. If you don't like what's on the radio, you need to make your voice be heard. If you don't like what's going on in the community, you need to start making your voice be heard and start to organize and start making smarter decisions. Can't keep doing the same things and thinking we're going to get different results. Marching and just saying that we mad ain't going to change anything. So that's just a little bit I wanted to get off my dome for everybody in Jersey City that can hear my voice. Anybody that knows me and what have you, I just say peace and love, stay safe, and see y'all on the other side.
Dub, before you hang up, I just want to read a comment that we get, and then I'll let you go. My main man, Ben, St. Anthony High School in Jersey City, New Jersey. Ben's still listening. And Ben said, he just sent me a note. He relayed the message and caught my personal message over the air to his little man. He got a Kool-Aid smile from little man, and we put a smile on his face. We topped off his whole night. Little man, 7 years old, and he's saying thank you. So that's Ben. We know from high school, it was St. Anthony High School, whose little man, 7 years old, wanted to sit in the car while the family did errands and listen to Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J, K-Dub, Colin Banks, and Mr. Mika. He ain't want to go with the crew. He wanted to stay and listen to us drop some knowledge. Dude, that's our homie from high school right there, bro. Give him some love real quick.
That's what's up, man. Big shout out to Ben, baby. Fire Nation, man. Big shout out to your little man. Start him up on the right foot.
That's what it is. Dub, love you, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, now, peace. Stay light.
Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. That's K-Dub listening to us down there in the ATL. That's my brother, my partner, my friend from 3 years old at Aunt Marie's house. Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. A couple of real quick hits that we got from the MixLR page. We got Simone still hitting us up and listening to us. She says that the juror, B29, she got 8 kids. She needs the money. That's the reason why She went on the news and did what she did. Tony is listening to us and agreeing with Simone, saying money is always the first thought unless you're trying to do something positive with your time in the spotlight. She continues where the rest of the jurors and hiding because they knew they were wrong. They're likely just happy to be back to their normal lives. Meanwhile, the boy's family is still trying to pick up the pieces and put them back together as best they can. And S.Y. Butler is giving some love to K-Dub. Ain't no how Steppin with Marcus J. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to us. I'll get into my thank yous and I'll get into my closings in a minute. Tamika, you want to say peace to anybody that's listening to us?
I just want to thank you first, Marcus J, and the rest of your Half Steppin crew for having me on the show tonight. And, say hello to everybody out there that's listening, my friends, my family that decided to listen in tonight. Thank y'all for listening. I think for my closing remark, I just want to tell people to get involved and know what you're voting for. These laws that everybody is upset about, the Stand Your Ground law, those laws, there's similar laws in every state. They may not be called Stand Your Ground, but there's something similar. And, I implore you to know, the rules of where you live. Get online, do some research. If you don't like it, when it's time to vote, pay attention to the issues. Don't just vote the party line like a lot of us are known to do. You need to get involved politically, know what's going on in your neighborhoods, your local elections, as well as the national elections, and that's where you're gonna start to see change. Start talking with your pen and not so much with destruction and nonsense that we have going on.
Ain't no how Steppin with Marcus J. I want to go ahead and take this opportunity to thank everybody who has been part of the show, and I'll get to my thank yous in a minute. But one thing that I definitely want to get to, as I promised that I would do every single week, I want to get to the boycott. One of my radio mentors, Warren Ballantyne, is calling for a boycott on the Friday after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. Boycott. We're not spending no money in the normal economy, I should say. We're not spending no money. So that big screen TV you want to get from Wally World, you want to go and get that iPad from the people that got the little red dot in their emblem. We're not going there. We're gonna boycott on that Friday after Thanksgiving, but we're gonna spend our money on the Saturday after on minority-owned businesses. And the reason why we're doing that is to show financial and economic prowess, and the fact that if you're not going to respect us in the judicial system, then we're not going to respect you in the financial arena, in the economic arena. And I think if we get on board as a community and we do this together, I think we have an opportunity to show prowess. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in my rant, so just hang in there with regards to that. At this time, I want to just go ahead and mention another part of the plan from Warren Ballantyne, the number one truth fighter, who is a radio mentor of mine. We want to have nonviolence for 3 days. So we're going to start with the Friday after Thanksgiving, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 72 hours. We want no violence. We want no killings in our community. We don't want to see nothing. So if a brother step on your suede shoe and you real mad because it's real dirty and it ain't going to come out, you know what? Say it's all right, brother. Don't worry about it. And you call him brother. We're going to pull our pants up. We're going to respect our sisters. We're not going to call them out their name. And we're going to act like we got some decorum and some good manners like we used to do in generations past. Because that is what we come from. That is who we are. And I want to make sure that we're doing that because, if we can do it for 3 days, we can do it for a week. And if we can do it for a month, we can do it for a year. And this is how you do it. You had a lot of people that came to me and said, you know what, Marcus J., I'm insulted that you only call it for 3 days. Well, first of all, I'm following behind Warren Ballantyne because this is somebody that I respect as a leader, and I in turn become the leader behind him. But the reality is, if you only ask it for 3 days, it's because you asked for a year and people ain't gonna do it. You ask for a month and people ain't gonna do it. You ask for a week and people ain't gonna do it. You gotta start small. You gotta show that things can actually be done. And if you show that things can actually be done, then you get the excitement built up. Then you say, you know what, we can do this on a big scale. And when you show that you can do it on a small scale, that's how you do it. So keep that in mind. Share it. post it. I know you listening on MixLR. I know you listening on Winamp. I know you listening on Shoutcast. I know you listening on TuneIn. Don't just listen and enjoy the show. Be a part of the movement. Ain't no How Steppin' with Marcus J live from the Den Legacy Internet Radio. We the flagship show here every single Tuesday from 7 to 9. We got it live in radio with Steven Sykes and Mr. Sincere, who are not in tomorrow. Tomorrow you got yours truly, Marcus J, in with S.Y. Butler, the number one fan of Legacy Internet Radio. Yes, we bring fans in, so if you want to be down, call me up, hit me on the Legacy page, hit me on the Ain't No Half Steppin' Marcus J page, and I'll put you on the air. I'm the owner of this website. I can do what I want to do. So I can definitely make it happen if you want to be down. Wednesday night, we got the funniest show with the funniest dude and the most beautiful, funny woman on LegacyInternetRadio.com. We got the Green Room with Jay Grizzy and Lissa P from 7 to 9 every single Wednesday night live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. You got to listen to them, two local comedians that will have you laughing your ass off in stitches. Thursday night, did they just play that? The funny show that we have with music. You're going to be laughing because you're going to be like, damn it, I can't believe this dude just played that song right there. This is what we do on this Thursday. You're going to really bug out. Let me just tell you, if you've ever turned your television on and you bugged out off of something that you heard on TV, you're going to enjoy our show on this Thursday. That's a little bit of a tease as to what we're doing. Every Thursday, a little bit before 7 to a little bit after 9. And then on Fridays around about 6 o'clock, we starting off with a Marley mix. So we playing Bob Marley and the Family. We got the Wailers. We got Peter Tosh. We got Kimani, Ziggy, Junior Gong, Steven. We got the whole crew, Julian, all of them. We got a little bit of Marley music, Marley magic from 6 to 7. 7 o'clock on Fridays, we playing Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. We got the flagship show replayed from Monday, replayed on Friday from 7 until. And then on Saturday all day, we playing the replay of Did They Just Play That, the music only show from Thursday. 7 to 9. 7 to 9 on Saturday night, Deep House Sessions. DJ Renee Melendez, my homegirl from Jersey City, New Jersey, Deep House Sessions. She playing house music, y'all. She playing soul music, y'all. She playing R&B music, everything that you want to hear, everything that you want to hear in the club, non-stop music all day on Saturdays. You're going to shake your ass. So just move your furniture, pull out the baby powder, because it's on and popping all day Saturday, all day music. Ain't No Half Steppin' Marcus J is live from the Den Legacy Internet Radio. Legacy Internet Radio is 6 days a week, so we definitely got a lot of programming for you. So I'm going to end out the show with my rant and my closing, and I appreciate everybody just kind of bearing with me. I got a lot to say here, and I appreciate the love that I've gotten. I got Iris, I got Kaz, K-Dub, Tony, S.Y. Butler, my little sister Nat, Sabrina, and Jay Grizzy and Simone all listening to us. Want to give them all love, and I definitely want to give Joy and Said some love as well. I want to get into my rant, y'all, and here's what I got to go and get into with you. I found myself blogging this weekend. I do that a lot, and normally I don't talk about, my blogs, but this weekend I got to talk about the blogs. I was blogging with brothers and sisters over the weekend about the marches in the wake of the Zimmerman verdict, and the inevitable names of Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson came up, and Cass was saying some disparaging things about them. About how their media created ambulance chasing, irrelevant, and all kinds of negative stuff. Now, you know how I do. I'm not going for that. That backbiting stuff they do just drives me crazy. They're talking about Bill Cosby and President Obama. Anytime you backbiting folks that's trying to help our community, I got a problem with you. Anytime someone shows us the errors of our ways or a different way to go about things, we got to attack them. Folks that's talking about what Al and Jesse doing usually only talk. Calling them divisive when we killing them with innuendo and pseudo-black intellectual talk about how bad they are with no facts. Just stuff that folks heard other pseudo-black intellectuals say. So again, I ask, what we gonna do about anything besides talk, y'all? It kills me when I hear these attacks on them. The reality is this. They are the ones who are out there doing things, civil rights, and that have led them to national prominence. Also keep in mind, Martin Luther King was loathed in the Chicago area and other areas when he went there to try to help them out. Black preachers wanted to kick him out of town and call him a rabble-rouser. Malcolm X only gained popularity in our current generation, in large part because of Public Enemy and Boogie Down Productions, who I pretty much played all their music tonight. But let's do the knowledge, people. Folks hated them. We hated them when they were living. We called them race baiters. Our own people called them that because they weren't scared to call out the oppressors on their bull. And people were scared of massa. Folks talk a lot about how Sharpton and Jackson hinder the progress of people with their antics and showboating. But again, it always puzzles me when I hear folks speak this way because it's rarely supported by actual facts, just talk. One cat even said to me that Sharpton does nothing but hinder the progress of the civil rights fight. Folks suggest that Sharpton is an agent for the government and an informant. They say he's a race-baiting ambulance chaser who only comes around to stir up the masses in the face of racial discourse. It's crazy to me when folks say Al Sharpton does nothing but hinder. Now, I ain't going to question folks' personal experiences and opinions. However, many who have problems with him don't have fact-based reasons to feel how they feel. They just basically listening to the conservative radio and spitting out what they heard other people say. So I'm going to steal from the Rev. We can have different opinions, but we cannot have different facts. We could point out many cases where he has been an absolute lifesaver. Abner Louima, Sean Bell, Gina, Louisiana. Those are just a couple of cases where the family contacted him for assistance and had a positive outcome considering a negative situation. So you can call him an agent. He might be one. You can call him an ambulance chaser. He might be that too. But I bet you'll call his ass when you need something because that's what we do. And that's why I shake my head at the hate and the backbiting that we sometimes do to our own. These are the same people who are sitting at their computer or sitting in the backyard or sitting at the barbershop absolutely doing nothing but talking, just flapping their gums. And I heard all these negative comments directed towards marching and those who march, which I've done. I've done it with K-Dub, who we just lost a few minutes ago. But the reality is marching is just a small part of the solution. We got to think bigger than just one-pronged attack and diversify. Marching only works if it's creating awareness for a situation and it shows a plan. The plan should be direct attention towards financial and economic power. You ever notice history? Pay attention to it. When Malcolm X died, Martin Luther King died, yeah, they died when they was talking about economics. That's when they got taken out. When Tupac, of all people, was talking about revolution and getting folks together, he got taken out. Forget about the misogyny and the thug life and all that crazy crap he talked about. Go YouTube some of his interviews and listen to him talk. Then you tell me that he was just an ignorant thug. Abraham Lincoln, America's favorite president, number 16, freed the slaves. Yeah, he did that because it would cripple the South by taking away the free labor. Even the Montgomery bus boycott worked because it affected their money. So that's why we got to think bigger, people, and we got to do it now because attacking folks who are doing something only gets us nowhere. We know what Sharpton's doing. We know what Jackson's doing. We know what King did. We know what Malcolm did. We know what Tupac did. But what we gonna do? What we gonna do, y'all? Something? Or we gonna just talk about what they did? Cats are talking about how we need to fight harder, direct violence, and go against oppressors. Yeah, all right, whatever. You know something? It kills me when folks talk about direct violence and attacking those who preach nonviolence as policy because violence as a policy is flawed simply because we outnumbered, y'all. Person to person, I get it. If a dude, cross you, knock that ass out. I get that. But violence as a policy, really? So we going to hate against Bayard Rustin, who was an advisor to Martin Luther King. Going against Martin Luther King. We're going to go against Al Sharpton because they say we should be nonviolent. Even Malcolm X knew that you can't attack those with guns when you fighting with spoons. Insurrection. Okay. We got to be smart about it. Talking from emotion. I'd like to talk to someone, anybody, who can name me one time in history where a group with less people and less weapons won using violence as a strategy. You want to win? Hit them in the pocket. But then again, that's what we do. We talk, y'all. We can't even boycott the folks that oppress us because we so in love with the payoffs that they give us. Big screen TVs, memberships to the country club, all that kind of nonsense. So we concerned with what Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson is doing, and President Obama, what they gonna do. What they gonna do when things get bad. Marching is bad. All we gonna do is wear our shoes. Boycotting is too hard. So I ask again, seriously, but rhetorically, what are we gonna do? That's the Marcus's unrelated rant that ain't got nothing to do what we ain't here talking about tonight. That's the end of the show, y'all. I want to thank everybody for listening to us. I want to remind y'all that independence is the key to building your legacy. The tagline, thelegacyinternetradio.com. I also want to say peace to all the stars and all of the squares. In the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. Those are the words of Bob Marley, who you would have heard singing in the background, but damn it, I talk too long like I do from week to week, but that's it. That's cool. Ain't no how step with Marcus J. Be back right here next week, 7 to 9, Monday. Peace.